Recording in progress.
Good morning, everyone. We're continuing Mishna Berura, Daf Hashavua. We're learning Hilchos Kriya Shema. Siman, Samach, Aleph, Seif, Vav. This is also a very important halacha, and what we say today may not be politically correct, but it might be correct though. You'll hear the way people say Shema, and I guess the starting point is don't necessarily say, well, I'm going to learn how to say Shema by listening to how people say Shema. You know, Hashem, Hashem, Echad, you know, people, that you know how the Tkiyah Shofar do, you know, some people, they have like this trailer at the end. You know, so maybe there's a confusion, because they're thinking about the Shema that was said at Kabbalas HaTorah, and they're confusing the Shema with the Tkiyah Shofar. But the end of the Shema should not necessarily sound like the end of the Tkiyah Shofar. The big question is, how are you marach be'echad? Because the last syllable of echad is a daled, and there's no nekuda under the daled. And if you're marach in the daled, then it's going to sound like echad. And it's not echad. Whether are you yoytze if you say echad? I'll leave that to bigger people to decide whether you're actually yoytze or not. But it's definitely not correct. There is no nekuda under the daled. So how you marich in the daled? You know, that's sort of the great mystery of life. How could you be marich in a daled that has no nekuda? So hopefully we'll have some answer today, because you know it's one of those things you might want to know how to do. Because it is something we do every day, like say Shema, you know. So the Mechaber says, "Tzarich laharich beches shel echad." You need to elongate the ches of echad, kedei sheyamlech HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'shamayim v'aretz, to be mamlech Hashem over heaven and earth. Shalazet roimeis hacha toy tarois shebeemtza gav haches, because to this concept, the humps in the middle of the ches, when the ches goes up, the hump of the ches alludes to this. But here's the $1 million question. V'yarich bedaled shel echad. You should elongate the daled of echad. Shir, the amount of time sheyachshav shakadosh baruch hu yachid ba'ilamai, that God is one in the world. Umayshel ba'arba ruchais ha'olam, and He rules over the four sides of the world. V'lo yarich yoser mikashir zeh. But don't make it longer than this amount. Some people, they motion with their head, they tilt their head in accordance, coinciding with the thought, up and down and to the four sides. Okay, so to be marach in the ches, that's not so difficult. Now what part of the ches? It's probably not the ch sound, you know, that would... But the of the echa, you could be technically marachin, and while you're doing the echa, you're thinking Hashem. Now other Rishonim say, you think Hashem is one in the 7 rakia and the 1 aretz. The ches, which is 8, is for the 7 heavens and the 1 aretz. So the Mishna Berura says, Hach v'ches, kazam ha'gvam b'shem ha-mem ayin. Who's the mem ayin? Migdal Oiz you have? Okay, thank you. The Magen Avraham says the name of the Migdal Oiz. Sheyarich beches. It says that in your Mishna Berura, Migdal Oiz? Okay. Kishir shlish, the ches should be a third. Uvedaled kishir shnei shlishim, 2/3. So the amount of time, in terms of time, is the ches is 1/3, and the daled 2/3. V'yesh oimrim, some say shelo yarich b'ches klal, not to marach in the ches at all. Rak yichavin hakol b'daled. The whole kavana should be in the daled. V'chein kasav hagura b'beiurai, it's when you say the daled. Now, what if by elongating it, you're going to be mishabish the reading? Rav Shlomo Zalman in the Siach Halacha says, so think it after you say the word. Shlomo Zalman adds in the Sefer Yitzchak Yikareh that the way we pronounce the Daled, there is no way to be marach the Daled, okay? We cannot be marach the Daled. If you're going to say ECHAD, however you think you're supposed to do it, it's not. We have no way to do it. There is no way to be marach the Daled. There is a way. The way is not to be yotzei the mitzvah of Kriya Shema. That's the way to be marach the Daled. There is no halachic way to be marach the Daled. Because the way we don't pronounce the Daled like a j, you know, if you're j-ing it, you could be marach it. If you're d-ing it, there is no way to be marach. The Stipler says, therefore, the ikar kavanah should be after you finish ECHAD, because there is no time while you're saying ECHAD, and there's no way to do it. So what you do is, you start when you're saying ECHAD, you start thinking Hashem is one, and you complete it after the word. There is no way to be marach in the Daled. So hopefully, now, if you say I was marach yesterday, no problem. Hopefully tomorrow you'll be yotzei the mitzvah of Kriya Shema. No. Sounds like someone wants to say something.
The way the Kaimanists say that they do a Daled as the.
Or the, yeah. But people who are born in Brooklyn are not Teimanim, even though it is south of, let's say, the North Pole. But, you know, why by Kriya Shema? But also by Kriya Shema, people adopt all these, you know, artificial pronunciations. You know, you have the ayin guys. The guy doesn't say an ayin. He never said an ayin in his life. He doesn't, you know. All of a sudden by Shema, he's an ayin guy. When did he become an ayin guy? For one word, Shema. I mean, all of a sudden he has a frog and he has tzvardeya when it comes to tzvardeya is for this week's parsha, but not for the word of Shema. So there's no way to be marach in the ECHAD. The correct way to do it, the ches a little bit, you have an so I mean, you know, it's not rocket science to be marach in ECHAD, but the Daled, there's no way to do it. You'll hear people, ECHAD. Okay, it's for effect, it definitely accomplishes its purpose, but halachically, no way to do it. By the way, Rabbi Yashiv says the same thing. In Penine Tefillah, there's no way to be marach in our Havara. V'lo yarach yoyser ayin pri magadim b'shem pri chadash. Hamachshava. Now, then there's this minhag, you know, you motion with your head in the different directions. You're not supposed to motion. You're not supposed to wink. There it's talking about motioning and winking for something else. Here, the motioning is for kavana. You need to go north. You have to think, if you're facing, I'm facing, let's say, east now. So this is east, and that's west, that's north, that's south. So what do? You go east, north, west, so you go. But to go back, and then the other two directions, but you're not to do east, west, north, and south to have the chassid shasi ve'erev. Here it is, the guy is trying to say he's Jewish. He's trying to declare God as one God, and somebody says, "What's this guy doing?" No, he's Christian. What do you mean? You know, what's the guy making it Salem in the middle of Kriya Shema? He's trying to declare he's a Yid. What's he making it Salem for? I don't do this. Where does this come from? It comes from the Torah. I don't think in the minhag yeshivas they do this. I don't think I ever saw an Adam Gadol do this. Do people do this? No.
Well, you have your hands over your eyes, so it's hard to know what everybody else is doing.
He could peek, you know. There's still cracks. He could still peek. What's?
It's a yesh noagim.
The yesh noagim. Okay. I guess if once you're saying the chadeh, then you know, you go for it. Okay, Zayin. Yadgish bedalid shleite karesh. You don't want to say achar. You don't want it to have an R sound. You want to articulate the dalid. However, the Mishna Berura says, "V'lo yadgish yoser midai." You don't want to do it too strongly, because it's going to say echad di or echad dei. Ela hakavana sheyati menema pei yafe. Just execute it accurately. That there's a dalet sound, but not a di sound. Echad. Okay, that's it. It's not so easy to do. If you're going to be marach it, don't be marach the dalet. There's no way to be marach the dalet and it not sound like a shva. Okay, sif tes. No, sif ches. La yachtoif beches. Don't chap the ches. Don't say the ches too quickly. V'la ya'arich ba'alef. Don't elongate the aleph. Okay. Asr loymar Shema shtei pamim. It's asr to say Shema 2 times. Bein shekayf ha'teva she'omer Shema Shema. Whether you repeat the word, bein shekayf ha'pasuk rishon, or whether you repeat the first pasuk. Now, what do you do if you weren't mechavein the first time? Yeah, that's an issue. What if you forgot to think before you said the Shema that I'm mechavein to be yotzei the mitzvah of Kriya Shema? What's the problem with saying Shema twice as Mishna Berura Shema shtei pamim mishum dener ki lo makablav shtei rishuyos chas v'shalom? Because it looks like you're accepting upon yourself 2 gods. There's a lot of apikarsus that could go on if you don't know how to say Shema. I mean, here the rest of the day, this guy, he's an Erlich Chayid. He's Mekayim all the mitzvahs properly, and he's, the Shema, he could be being mamlich shtei rishuyos shasi v'arev. So you got to make sure you do this right. Also, don't say MS at the end of Kriya Shema 2 times. Also, Maidim. You shouldn't say twice. Okay. Let's say you were mechavein the first time. You do it again. Why? Because when you're doing it quietly, it doesn't look like you're mamlech shtei rishuyos. The imleka shoymim, and if nobody's listening, afilu b'kol ramater, you're allowed to do it even out loud. Aval im kiven meikara, but if you were mechavein the first time, fil b'lachash, so you can't say it even quietly a second time. Uvaslichos mutar lomer shema b'chol pam sha'omer vayavar. You're allowed to say Shema every time you do the Yigam Umidos, the Kivan Shema Sekar Bein Time, Lo Mechsek Shtei Rishuyos. Since there's an interruption, it doesn't look like Shtei Rishuyos. V'ayin betaz b'siman samach gimel sif gimel shekasav gamkein. Look in the Taz, who also writes, Imamtin ezazman bein hakriya rishayna l'shniya shari. That if you wait any amount of time between the first kriya and the second kriya, it's permitted. So I don't understand. Is this talking about you were yotzei the first time or you weren't yotzei the first time? The Zman that we're talking about it's longer than Kedei Shela Shalom. But I'm not sure why somebody would want to say Shema if he was already yotzei. I guess maybe he wants to learn. Now he decided he wants to learn. So you shouldn't say it unless you do. Wait, the ein mashaskin oisai, elam ken kar beis pamar tzufim. There's a break in between. We won't silence you unless you read it 2 consecutive times. Afilu maguna nami loyhav. It's not even disparaging. Okay. Bein shekoifel uv'di'evid b'chvelas ha'pasuk yatsa. If you repeat the whole pasuk, you're yotzei. Uv'chvelas hatevois tzarach iyan. If you repeat the words, it's a tzarach iyan and ayin beber halacha. Ha-pasuk harishon isabei says that in pasuk rishon v'hala in chashash. There's no issue from the first pasuk anan. Mishana rif l'chayra loy mashkin. From the rif, it's not mashma that way, because the rif says aval akari pasuk mikriya shema v'koifloi hareza magunatz mashma the whole anywhere in Krishna. I'm magim giborim shigam ha'miri machmer b'zeh. The magim giborim says the miri is machmer on any pasuk. Ach al mita sebade an lahachmer b'zeh. But Kriya shema lamita, it would not be an issue. Okay, Rabbi, so we'll hold it over here. Pick it up tomorrow in Sif Yod. Hatzlach harab, everyone. Kol tov.
Recording stopped.